Good afternoon, everyone. As the global halal market has gained in popularity during this time of heightened uncertainty and anxiety, it is the DTI's Philippine Trade Training Center, Global MSME Academy, and Export Marketing Bureau Halal Section's privilege to share with you the latest updates on the state of the global halal ecosystem and how you, as our MSME partner, can take advantage of it during and after the pandemic. Dahil na nga rin po sa kasalukuyang sitwasyon ng ating bansa at sa pagharap nating lahat sa COVID-19 pandemic, napakahalaga malaman natin lahat ng mga updates tungkol sa halal market. Now, with the need to maintain the momentum established for the halal industry, especially at this trying times, it is of utmost necessity to maximize the available mechanisms and continue to explore innovative ways of dealing with the commercial challenges the world is facing at the moment. At para na rin sa kaalaman ng lahat, ang halal ay nangangahulugang permitted or lawful, with the fastest growing consumer segment in the world, valued at 3.2 trillion US dollars industry worldwide. We are offering this webinar to assist you in learning the new normal ways of doing business. At ngayon, malugod naming inaanyayahan ang lahat sa ating webinar na pinamagatang State of the Global Halal Ecosystem Amid COVID-19. Now, it is our honor and pride to present to you the Undersecretary of the Trade Promotions Group of DTI. He is also the chair of Export Development Council and Technical Working Group of Halal Export Board, the Honorable Undersecretary Abdul Ghani M. Makatoman, for his opening remarks.
A very good afternoon, everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Eid Mubarak to my fellow Muslims. And first of all, allow me to acknowledge Ms. Lady Mokhtar, Senior Manager of Madrid, and Ms. Nordaslina Muhammad Daud, the Managing Director of Trans Global Logistics. And I would like also to acknowledge Asik Myra of the UT, Director Jacinto of the Department of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Bagaporo of DFA, and Mr. Datukan of MINDA, and Director Sakar from the National Commission on Muslim Filipino, and the entire DTI family. It is very timely to discuss halal right after the Ramadan. And we actually intend to hold this webinar within the week of Eid al-Fitr celebration as part of our efforts to share this momentous event with our Muslims and even the non-Muslim friends who took part in the exercise of this religious obligation. For us Muslims, halal has always been our way of life, and it becomes more special during the month of Ramadan as we pay more attention and extra careful to our usual daily routine, either by words or by deeds. We steadfast not only from eating and drinking, but training ourselves to self-discipline, care for one another, especially the needy at these trying times, reflect on our actions, repent for our sins, whether intentional or not, appreciate and be grateful to the bounties of Almighty God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that despite everything that is happening around the world, we are still well and alive. So without further ado, allow me to welcome all to this webinar and thank you in advance for participating. We know how difficult our situation at the moment due to the pandemic, but we are all affected economically, socially, physically, emotionally, and in fact, even psychologically. So basically, all aspects of our lives suddenly change. But with the new normal, we have to navigate our way to bounce back, especially to our MSME and the business sector in general, as this is one of the most affected sectors of this crisis. Fortunately for the halal industry, and in particular the food sector, halal food is rising in popularity amid COVID-19 as people reflect on the so-called origin of the virus, which is from the wild, unhygienic process, and definitely non-halal animals. In a recent report from Jakarta Post, it explained their concern over the risk of COVID-19, which accordingly had contributed to an increase in people's awareness about the importance of consuming halal and hygienic food, as the SARS-CoV-2 is believed to have started in a wheat market in Wuhan, China. These insights have in fact implication in consumer behaviors as reported by another research company. Consumers prefer foods that are healthy and locally sourced more now than before the pandemic. Anyway, what we are saying here is that potential of halal products are now more imminent, more essential than before, and we have to take that opportunity. I think I'll have to pause here and pave the way for our speakers to give us more insights. I believe that the two topics we will be having this afternoon is very relevant in our halal business journey. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all again. Maraming salamat. Terima kasih. Mabuhay po kayong lahat.
Thank you, Undersecretary Makatoman, for that insightful remarks. This time, to provide us a brief overview of this webinar, we have the Assistant Director of the Export Marketing Bureau and is currently supervising the Halal section of DTI, Mr. Anthony B. Rivera.
A very good afternoon to everyone. Assalamu alaikum and Eid Mubarak to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. We share with you this joyous and festive mood that this month of Ramadan brings. I'm Anthony Rivera of the TTI Export Marketing Bureau. We would like to thank you all for joining us here today. Our office, together with the Philippine Trade Training Center, Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation, and Transglobal Logistics, in coordination with the Office of the Undersecretary for Trade Promotions Group, is very pleased to host this webinar on the state of the global halal ecosystem amid COVID-19. Generally, our aim is to be able to present the current state of our halal ecosystem amid the pandemic and identify opportunities for all of us as we move forward towards the recovery stage. We know that the key challenges the global industries face today, and our speakers will provide some insights on how we could navigate these concerns. Please allow me to take this opportunity to thank our program partners and you, our valued halal stakeholders. We hope that you will be able to expand and explore the opportunities in the halal industry domestically and especially the export opportunities in the global market. I will not prolong my remarks as we all look forward to hearing the topics that will be presented by our most dynamic speakers. Shukran, thank you, and again, Eid Mubarak.
Maraming salamat, Assistant Director Rivera, para sa pagbibigay ng ideya sa ating mga manonood ng mga bagay na tatalakayin sa webinar na ito. At this moment, to introduce our guest speakers for today's webinar, may we have the OIC Assistant Division Chief of Business Management Training Services Division of the Philippine Trade Training Center Global MSME Academy, Ms. Giselle K. Suma.
Okay, so good afternoon. Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen who are watching and listening right now. And of course, to our MSMEs, the micro, small, and medium entrepreneurs. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. We have conducted several seminars in the last few weeks. Actually, we have one last Friday. And I'm sure some of you have attended those sessions also. Salamat po sa ating mga suke, sa ating mga regular attendees. And for those who will be attending here the first time, welcome po in our webinar. And I'm sure you will have a lot of takeaways after the session. We hope that you will apply your learnings, share it with your staff, and hopefully improve your businesses. So ano po yung ating mga objectives today? So to provide updates on the current state of the global halal economy. Ano po ba ang status ngayon ng halal economy? To discuss the challenges of the industry amid COVID-19 and possible recovery plan after the crisis. Alam naman natin na in this time of pandemic, marami talagang challenges. And of course, our businesses are affected. And to share piece of advice and best practices from our subject expert during this crisis. We can ask them po, ano po ba ang mga best practices na pwede nating i-apply sa ating mga businesses. And of course, the main objective of this webinar really is to help you in this pandemic time. So sana po after ng ating session, madami po tayong matutunan, madami po tayong pwedeng i-share, at madami po tayong pwedeng magawa para improve ang ating business. Okay, I know everybody's excited for our topics for today. So let's start with our first speaker. Okay, our first speaker has graduated from University Technology, MARAUITM, Shah Alam, with a Bachelor of Business Administration in Retail Management. She launched her career with Matrade, that's Malaysia's External Trade Development Corporation, the National Trade Promotion Agency of Malaysia, which is in 2006, she launched her career. She was tasked to serve in various sections within Matrade, such as Trade Analysis Unit, Corporate Communications Unit, Malaysian Kitchen Unit, to name a few. During these years in Matrade, she received opportunities and exposures in major international trade fairs and missions. Prior to joining Matrade, she has gained experience in one of Malaysia's prominent advertising media house in Kuala Lumpur as a media buyer and later worked in Borneo Post in Kuching as a research executive for its weekly supplement Economica. Right now, she's the senior manager of Halal, F&B agro-based section, Exports Promotion and Market Access Division of Matrade. Ladies and gentlemen, our first speaker, Ms. Lenny Mokhtar.
Hi, thank you so much, Giselle. Assalamualaikum. Good day, everyone. Magandang hapon. Hello from Malaysia. First of all, I wish to extend our appreciation to Philippine Trade Training Center, Department of Trade and Industry, and the Secretary Abdul Mr. Anthony, Giselle, for organizing this webinar session. Also, our thanks wish to go out to Matrade Manila, especially to Madam Trade Commissioner, Ms. Siti Azlina, and Assistant Trade Commissioner, Mr. Irvin Francis, for helping coordinating this session. Yes, my name is Lenny Mokhtar. I'm currently attached with Matrade HQ. I'm grateful to be sharing the virtual stage with another fellow speaker from Malaysia, Ms. Das, from A-Trans Global Logistics. The reason I'm here today is I wish just to share some updates about halal industry, and let's see how we can go about it after the COVID-19. Okay, this is my presentation. All right, what is halal? I think, we have heard about halal, all over the world, for instance, but what is it exactly? Yeah, halal originates, the word halal itself originates from an Arabic phrase that means allowed or permitted by Islamic law. So the food which in terms are being used and does not stem from or consist of any part of item from animals that are forbidden to Muslim by Islamic law, or animals that have not been slaughtered according to Islamic law. B, does not contain any substance that is considered impure in Islamic law. C, it is not prepared, processed, or manufactured using equipment or utensils that are not free from impurities as defined by Islamic law. That in preparation, processing, or storage stage does not come in contact with or is stored near any kind of food that does not meet the requirements of para A, B, and C, or any substances that are considered impure by Islamic law. Okay. Let's see the opportunity of halal and globally. Yeah, and this slide is showing the world's halal market is growing with abundance of opportunities, with not only benefiting the Muslim community but also others who need to consume and use halal products and services. So we could see that consumers nowadays they have equipped themselves with knowledge or information about halal products and services, which include food and beverages, ingredients, healthcare products and services, personal care, tourism, as well as financial services. Quoting from a report of the State of Global Islamic Economy Report 2019/2020 by Dina Standard, highlighted that the global Islamic economy in 2018 was worth $4.74 trillion and expected to grow to $6.6 trillion in 2024. One of the contributing factors for the growth is a huge size of Muslim population, referring to the Global Islamic Economy Indicator (GIE), where it will grow from 1.8 billion people in 2017 to 3 billion people in 2016. So the same report also indicated that Muslims spent $2.2 trillion in 2018, and this progression is expected to reach $3.2 trillion by 2024. So quoting a finding from PEWE research, total Muslim population is expected to reach 2.76 billion in 2050, with high concentration in the regions of Asia Pacific, MENA, Middle East and North Africa, and Sub-Saharan. So the Muslims consumer comprising predominantly the young Muslims, who makes approximately 11% of global consumption. So the growth of halal economy reflects the potential social impact of the Islamic economy sectors, which is in line with the United Nations UN Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) for 2030. Addressing SDGs is essential in the development of the Islamic economy as it promotes good ethics and practices. Okay, this slide, what I'm sharing is about the halal landscape in Malaysia. Halal industry will continue to be a key engine of growth for the country. And since 2008, the growth of halal industry in Malaysia has been guided by the Halal Industry Master Plan 2008 to 2020. And to further positioning the industry regionally and internationally, the government is working on the Halal Industry Master Plan 2030 and aligning the efforts to the national agenda under the Shared Prosperity Vision 2030, which launched last year. It was worth noting that Halal and Food Hub has been set as one of the 15 key economic growth activities under SPV 2030. The slide is showing the landscape of Malaysia halal ecosystem, as I mentioned. So Malaysia is currently the only country in the world that boasts a comprehensive ecosystem for the halal industry development agenda. So the development of the halal industry has been given special attention to by the government through various efforts to promote the growth of the industry. Malaysia is seen to have the advantage in developing a holistic industry as it has a complete system, including physical and institutional infrastructures that seek to support the developmental initiatives. So since the 1980s, Malaysia was the pioneer in establishing halal laws and remains a force in matters relating to halal certification globally. The country has also been developing the halal industry since the early 2000s. Malaysia's halal standards are being referred as a guideline in international arena, such as by the Standards and Metrology Institute for Islamic Countries, SMIIC, and the Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand Growth Triangle, IMTGT. So one of the infrastructures that facilitates the growth of the Malaysian halal industry is the Halal Park. Currently, there are 22 halal parks in Malaysia, which value at Ringgit Malaysia 13.3 billion of investments, of which 14 have the halal park status. Its main objective is to improve the economic performance of the participating companies while minimizing their environmental impacts. Halal Park houses a community of manufacturing and service businesses located on a common property with the aim of preserving the integrity of halal products. In Malaysia, currently, there are more than 8,100 certified companies in the halal industry, which more than 1,800 halal registered companies are exporting. So the breakdown I can share with you is 70.4% are in the F&B industry, 23.1% in services, 4% in cosmetics, and 2.6% in pharmaceuticals. As you're now aware, halal is not just limited to F&B. A wide spectrum of sectors of halal is relevant to many activities within the supply chain. Malaysia has all the necessary infrastructures that aid the growth of the halal industry. Perhaps the concern for the operational practice is mainly in understanding the knowledge. I think that's one of the challenges, the understanding the knowledge and related issues pertaining to halal supply chain in order to stay competitive in the growing business. I think all over the world we're talking about halal, but the information and knowledge precisely or exactly about what it's all about is very important. And Malaysia has the knowledge, and we will be able to share with the whole world. That's what we are doing now. All right, moving on. Okay, this is Malaysia's halal export performance that we could see. It's whereby Malaysia halal industry, it contributes approximately 7.8% to Malaysia's GDP. Malaysia has achieved strong export revenue through the halal industry, and you can see the our export is at hit Ringgit Malaysia 40.22 billion in 2019. So this figure is expected to reach Ringgit Malaysia 50 billion by 2020, based on the target set by the halal industry master plan. Halal export figures is captured based on the exports of the halal certified products. So they are currently, you can see, here are the major halal products exported out in 2019. So first one is food and beverages, 49.9%, halal ingredients, 36.3%, palm oil derivatives, 4.5%, cosmetic and personal care, 7.5%, industrial chemical, 0.9%, and pharmaceutical, 1%. Malaysia holds the leading advantage as it has thus far developed a comprehensive ecosystem, ranging from a reputable certification system and human capital development to a well-planned international market access strategy. So as mentioned in my few slides earlier, Malaysia has a competitive edge in terms of halal certification credibility, where it is accepted by almost all halal markets worldwide. Malaysian halal certification requires a stringent process because of the high value it offers, compared to many other countries where their halal certification is being managed by NGOs or community associations. But for Malaysia, it is being handled by the government itself through the Department of Islamic Development of Malaysia, or JAKIM in short. And Malaysia has recognized 84 bodies in 46 countries around the world as certification bodies for products imported into Malaysia. And this figure is expected to grow in the future. So as the halal, as a national trade promotion agency, MATRADE, we play an integral role, very important role in the country's halal agenda by providing the platform for Malaysian halal companies to expand their markets abroad. ASEAN, East Asia, West Asia, Europe, and America will continue to be the focus markets while developing new and emerging markets in South Asia as well as Africa. I would say that's where we need the cooperation through our MATRADE offices in overseas, worldwide. We have 46 over offices to also understand halal and promote halal halal products and services from Malaysia, and we're doing quite well right now. Yeah. Matri's strategic role is based on elements such as increasing responsiveness to market dynamics, including integration of companies into global supply chain through exporters development and export promotion initiatives. Matri, we have outlined a list of programs in the efforts to continue assisting Malaysian companies further promote their halal products and services worldwide, yeah, by participating and promoting halal products and services in international trade exhibition export missions, such as we have here in Gulf Food in Dubai, Foodex Japan, Fine Food Australia, Canton Fair China, Hofex, Anuga, Sayal, both Shanghai and Paris, FSG China, and Fancy Food USA. The COVID-19 pandemic represents an unprecedented disruption to the global economy and world trade, definitely, as production and consumption are scaled back across the globe. Taking into consideration the widespread movement restrictions globally, Matri is utilizing the online platform, focusing on encouraging Malaysian exporters and their counterparts worldwide to meet and discuss business collaborations via virtual B2B. So we hope to see a strong revival of business post-COVID. Our Matri office worldwide continue to engage international buyers to assist them in sourcing halal products and ingredients from Malaysia. Food trade is expected to rebound quickly as the sector is considered essential even during the pandemic. I come to the end of my presentation. I would love to also note that for our Filipinos friend who are able to also visit our Matri Manila to get more information about halal, also other packages or promotion and programs that Matri organize, they can always visit Matri Manila office in Makati City, as well as get them connected through the email. I'll come back later for another session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Lenny. Okay, thank you, Ms. Lenny, for that presentation. For sure po, madami kayong katanungan, madami kayong gustong itanong. Later po, after another lecture, we will have the question and answer. So we encourage you to type your question sa ating pong chat box, sa ating Q&A chat box, and then you can also send your question in the FB para po mamaya babasahin namin ang inyong mga question para po masagot natin. Okay? So, okay, for our I'm sure, so madami tayong natutunan sa ating first speaker. Ngayon naman po, excited na, I know you're excited also for our second speaker. Papakilala ko na po siya. And then again, sabi ko nga po, after that, we will have the question and answer. So please park your questions para po mamaya masagot po natin. Okay, ang ating pong second speaker, our second speaker is the Managing Director of A-Trans Global Logistics Private Limited and Isla Venture Private Limited. Among her achievements, Halal Development Corporation Expert Panel for Halal Occupational Framework. This includes Halal Occupational Structure, Halal Job Title, and Halal Job Description. And then Jakim and Mitton's panel on Harmonizing Training Module of Competency Halal Logistics for Auditor. She is the speaker also for Hong Kong Trade World Department for Asian Logistics and Maritime Conference in Hong Kong Halal Logistics Opportunities and Challenges. She is also the Asian Strategy and Leadership Institute speaker for Logistics and Supply Chain Conference 2018, Innovating Halal Logistics and Supply Chain. And she is also Jakim speaker for International Capacity Development Program 2018, in 2018, how halal logistics has impacted the business. And this one is, na-excite po ako nung mabasa ko to. She is public listed company strategic partner for developing the halal Hub Blueprint Strategy in Naga City, Philippines. So dito po sa atin yon. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, our dear participants, our second speaker for today, Miss Nordas Lina Modon, or we can call her Miss Daz. Good afternoon, Miss Daz.
Good afternoon. Maraming salamat, Miss Jessel. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Magandang hapon. Kamusta kayo? I hope everyone, all the webinar in a very good health of conditions. Yeah. So today, I would like to thank, first of all, I would like to thank DTI Philippine Trade Training Center for inviting me to be one of the speakers, and not to forget also our Madrid, Malaysia, HQ office and Philippine office. Okay. My topic today will be Halal supply chain development for Philippines. I've been entrusted to share my knowledge, my experience throughout the year when I involved in halal industry. Philippines envisage to capture about 30% of halal market in ASEAN, which translate to USD 15.9 million potential market business. This is written by Thomson Reuters. So for that envisage, we would like to share our experience how to develop halal supply chain in Philippines. Let's refresh about halal definitions. Okay, Miss Lenny from Madrid already shared with us what is definition of halal. But now I want to refresh again. What is halal? Halal is an Arabic word which is mean allowed or permissible by the Sharia law. And haram, also Arabic word, which is mean prohibited, forbidden, or unlawful. Between halal and haram, we have shubhah. Okay, shubhah is any item which is questionable whether halal or haram. When the specific source is not known, the item are suspect or questionable. This is a gray area. So in Islam, we only have halal, haram, and shubhah. Okay. So that is definition of halal. But what is definition of halal in industry context? Okay. Halal is a quality standard. It's a quality standard which have high demand worldwide from the Muslim country and non-Muslim country. And halal means quality of the product. When you buy halal products, it means have a very good quality. And halal also means hygienic. And of course, halal is guarantee authentic product. So this is in industry context, yeah. So let's see halal industry. What is in halal industry? We have components in halal industry, which is start from abattoir or poultry, and then we have food and beverage. We have food premise. We have pharmaceutical. We have cosmetic, personal care, and of course, we have logistic, we have retail, travel and hospitality, and recently we developed medical device. Okay, this is global halal trade potential information. Global expenditure of halal trade is expected to grow from USD 1.7 trillion in 2012 to USD 2.67 trillion in 2023. It is further estimated to grow to USD 3.2 trillion to the following year with increment to 10 trillion USD by 2030. And for halal market itself in ASEAN region is already exceeding USD 1.38 trillion. Again, today we are with DTI Philippines. Why we are the DTI Philippines initiate this program? Because the Philippines envisage to capture about 30% of the halal market in ASEAN region and of course in global market as well. Okay, let's see who is halal industry stakeholder for halal products. We have consumer. Consumer represent demand for the market. And then we have industry. Industry represent manufacturer who supply the product. And we have government, the regulator. Consumer in halal industry must have a knowledge on halal product. How means that what is halal standard practice in each country. And then for industry, in halal industry, they must comply to all the halal standard, regulation, and other related law as set by the government, which is the regulator. And the government responsible to establish standard, certification, and strategies to ensure effective surveillance and enforcement in not only product, but in whole supply chain ecosystem, in whole halal supply chain ecosystem. Okay, I would like to share with you principle of halal standard. We have 7 here, which is this one we've been practiced in Malaysia. Number 1, conduct a halal and hazard analysis. 2, determine the critical control point, CCP. 3, establish critical limits. 4, establish monitoring procedure. 5, establish corrective action. 6, establish verification procedures. 7, establish record keeping and documentation procedure for traceability. So this is 7 principles of halal standard, which we believe each of country, any country who want to develop halal supply chain ecosystem, they must implement these 7 principles. Okay, I would love to share halal related standard in Malaysia. We have 15 halal related standard in Malaysia. Okay, the red notes basically recently been revised by all stakeholder in Malaysia. Halal stakeholder in Malaysia. We have industry, we have academician, we have government agencies, who involved in halal industry in Malaysia. And then for logistic, we have 3 halal standard, whereby part 1 for transportation, inland transportation and container. Part 2, warehousing, and part 3, retailing. This is to complete the whole supply chain. Okay. This for Malaysia Halal certification scheme, basically, the international company are welcome to apply the Malaysia Halal certificate. We have number 1, food and drink products, MS 1500 2019. And then beside the picture of the food and drinks product, we have logo, Malaysia Halal logo. And then this Malaysia Halal logo, under the Malaysia Halal logo, stated the Malaysia standard scheme and also the traceability number for the company who apply or who obtain. Sorry, this logo actually for the company who already obtain the halal certificate. Yeah. So the MS refer to the which scheme you apply, you obtain the certificate. And then below the MS, the number is for the company running number and the year they obtain the certificate. So this is one of the traceability method in Malaysia halal certification. Okay, we have number 2, cosmetic under MS 263 for 2019. And number 3, pharmaceutical MS 2424 2012. And also we have consumer good MS 2200-2 2013. So we are welcome any manufacturer in Philippines who want to apply halal certificate from Malaysia, specifically from their team. They can collaborate with the Malaysia entrepreneur, and then they can process the application for the, they can process the application, sorry. Okay, certification scheme, Halal Philippine Certification Scheme. This is my proposal, how to develop halal supply chain ecosystem in Philippines. I'm aware that Philippines already have a Halal Philippine logo, which is this is initiated by the government, right? And then, of course, I believe that the government already has the halal standard for this halal certificate. So for the crucial or for the essential scheme, I would like to propose number 1, to develop certification scheme for slaughterhouse, for halal slaughterhouse. Number 2, for food premise. Number 3, food and drinks product. And number 4, logistic. Okay, and next will be consumer good, cosmetic, pharmaceutical, and OEM, right? So from the first 4 scheme, basically it will generate a lot of activities from the halal industry player. So what is the benefit of halal certification? Assurance. For Muslim consumer, the products are confirmed halal according to Sharia law. And we are confident, for Muslim consumer, we are confident the process to produce the product, the halal product, on the aspect of hygiene and the aspect of hygiene and sanitation of premise is in the best condition, Okay, number 3, basically it's widen the range of customer, attract both Muslim and non-Muslim consumer. Number 4, increase market value, domestic and global, which is increase the business opportunity, which global market value USD 1.3 trillion. And of course, boost the reputation, compliant of a standard with high market demand globally. Okay, next, halal supply chain. What is halal supply chain? Halal supply chain is an application of Sharia principle to the entire supply chain, from sourcing, manufacturing, transportation, warehousing, ports, freight handling, right up to consumer consumptions. Again, the critical is application of Sharia principle to the entire supply chain, not only for the products, but entire supply chain. This is a diagram for supply chain products. okay, from raw material, supplier, manufacturer, distributor, retailer, and consumer. So when we have halal supply chain for the product, so we start need to have from the beginning, which is from the raw material itself up to consumer, basically. And the beautiful of halal, the product can be consumed by non-Muslim and Muslim. So it will widen your market. You have halal product. You must have halal logistics and halal product traceability on blockchain technology. Why you must have halal logistics and halal products traceability on blockchain technology? Because to maintain halal integrity throughout halal supply chain ecosystem, especially in non-Muslim country. Halal logistics. What is halal logistics? Halal logistics, it is a process of planning, implementation, and managing the delivery flow and storage of halal certified raw material, semi-finished and finished products. From source to demand, ensuring full compliance of the recognized halal assurance system throughout the process. This is halal logistics. So when you say halal supply chain, halal supply is all certified halal product. That is halal supply. Chain is logistic. So when you want to have halal supply chain, you must develop halal product and using service halal logistic. We have inland transportation in halal logistic. We have warehouse. We have container yard and port for container to be cleaning. The process name Sertu. We have air freights, sea freights. That is component in halal logistic basically. So why halal logistic? Why halal logistic? Okay, halal logistic is a service, okay, to avoid cross-contamination during storage, transportation, or distribution activities. It's not we certified halal, the lorry, the container, the port. Actually, halal logistic been developed basically to avoid cross-contamination throughout halal supply chain. And also to avoid product misinformation, and of course, to ensure that Muslim consumers will receive and consume only halal products. Okay. Halal product traceability on blockchain technology. Okay, we have two segmentation here, traceability, for traceability on blockchain technology. One is certification repository with the following submodules: ingredients, raw materials, source of origin, from where the raw material, and who is the manufacturer, and then the validity period of the certificate, and also audit history, so that we know that the raw material, the halal certificate is still valid during our productions, okay? And then product certification, basically for products and CB. Certification body, CB is certification body. So, and the next one is training history. In Malaysia, when we apply for halal certificates, basically we've been entrusted to share, to train our team in organizations about halal industry. Okay, what is halal and what is the best practice in halal industry? We must train our team, start from the marketing up to delivery, basically. And halal talent, basically we have trainers, auditor, and we have halal executive. In Malaysia, whoever want to apply, any company want to apply halal certificate, they must have a person who have knowledge about halal. And it will be maybe supervisor, depends on the size of the company, or if the company is a big company, so they must hire halal executive. So Jakim already developed halal executive module as their representative, indirectly representative, to monitor the whole process in the company. So second, we have halal product traceability system, this one for food. In halal product traceability system, we make sure that we can trace back the standard compliance, yeah, and Sharia law regulation. And of course, we also can trace the safety and the security, and also the process, the operation of logistics in the supply chain. This is benefit halal product traceability on blockchain technology. Okay, blockchain can be a transformational force that raises the status of halal regulations and halal compliant product by offering traceability, transparency, and integrity elements. The technology can immediately confirm halal compliant at each stage of the halal supply chain ecosystem, immediately, yeah? Hence, the application can eliminate fraud, increase security, and with support from regulator, it can raise the market perception towards the product. So by having products traceability, halal products traceability on blockchain technology, it will increase trust, not only for Muslim consumer. It covers Muslim and non-Muslim consumer, because in halal, we have hygiene, we have safety, and we have authentic. So second, increase credibility of manufacturer, certification body, and regulator. Why increase credibility? Because of halal products traceability on blockchain technology offer transparency and integrity. Okay, halal supply chain development for Philippines. How we want to start halal supply chain development for Philippines? We can zoom to the existing supply chain in Philippines, whereby in April 30th, 2020, in Philippines, www.poultryworld stated that in Philippines, chicken overtakes pork as preferred protein. Okay, while pork had traditionally been the main source of protein for Philippine diets, in 2019, chicken overtook pork for the first time in per capita consumption. And it's written in the website, the Philippine Statistic Authority mentioned dressed chicken production in Philippines surged 40% over a decade. from 1 million metric ton in 2009 to 1.4 million metric ton in 2019. The growth in chicken demand has been faster than other meat due to its affordability, lower fat content, and the absence of cultural and religious hindrances. Chicken is the preferred meat in fast food outlets, which is a sector experiencing fast expansion throughout the country, right? So for the halal supply chain chicken, we will start from the poultry farm, go to slaughterhouse, deboning center, further processed product. Chicken as a preferred protein. Okay, this is the process. Source of origin in halal industry, we do have a permitted animal or marine, plant, mineral, chemical. So now we focus on the permitted animal. Chicken is a permitted animal for halal industry. Okay, and then we have process of slaughtering according to Sharia law. And then we go to the processing area. We need halal ingredients, we need halal additive, and of course, when we have this from the source of origin, permitted animal up to the finished product, we can apply for the halal certifications. So for this halal supply chain, directly we can develop first halal slaughterhouse certification scheme, second food scheme, and the third food premise. And also not to forget logistics scheme. And for this halal supply chain, again, I would like to highlight it covers not only for Muslim, it covers both Muslim and non-Muslim. So halal supply chain. Okay, this is halal chicken supply chain in Malaysia. Okay, but then this is Filipino fast food chain brand Jollibee, right? So Jollibee operates over 1,300 stores, and in Philippines itself, Jollibee have 1,150 stores. Currently, Jollibee in Philippines is not halal. So we as a Muslim cannot buy products or have products from Jollibee, right? So, however, Jollibee took initiative to expand their market in Malaysia, in Sabah, and they managed to obtain halal certificate. Congratulations to Jollibee, right? So they managed to obtain JAKIM halal certificate, which is considered a stringent standard, halal standard in the world. Okay, so I believe, okay, this is one of a good initiative. If Jollibee, okay, this is just for example, okay, just for example, how to develop halal supply chain ecosystem in a particular country. So we don't develop from the scratch. In each country, they already have their own supply chain. We need to have, the country only need to have halal standard and halal certificates compliance elements for the industry to apply, to obtain, basically. So for Jollibee, they do have the potential market international, whereby in Malaysia, and of course I believe in Philippines itself, because of if Jollibee apply halal certificate from Halal Philippines or any certification body in Philippines, they can serve non-Muslim and Muslim countries, so they can expand their market value. So I did some research basically. This is top 10 Philippine agriculture export. So for normally from my experience in Japan, in Korea, and of course in Naga City, Bicol region, Philippines, non-Muslim country will start want to learn or want to develop halal industry because of tourism. They want to welcome tourists to their country. So they want to have halal supply chain ecosystem. But recently, I mean last year, I did share with my partner in Japan, basically halal is not for domestic market only. You can have your own halal product, Japanese product or Philippine products, export to the OIC country, Muslim country, or non-Muslim country, because the demand is huge. So halal start from raw material. So I believe these top 10 products, export product for Philippines, it is a potential products to be certified halal. And once we have these products can be used for the local manufacturing and for the export market, for the export market for the end products. Okay, in summary, halal supply chain development for Philippines, basically we need the commitment from the government, from the industry, from the professional bodies, from the academia, and then from the consumer. Why from the consumer? It is demand and supply. If there is a demand, then the manufacturer, the halal, the industry player will supply to you the halal product. So it is a demand and supply. So consumer must take full responsibility to request to have halal products so that the industry can provide the halal product to you. And the government, the industry, the professional bodies, the academia, the consumers must work together and be accountable to ensure halal products produced in Philippines in authentic to uphold the image of the country. I would like to suggest a collaboration between Malaysia and Philippines from industry perspective, not from the government perspective, from the industry perspective. So number one, transfer knowledge on halal industry, training and coaching. As mentioned by Ms. Giselle, myself have another company named Islah Venture Silam Berhad. So we've been entrusted by Jakim to share our knowledge, our experience with the local entrepreneur, Malaysia entrepreneur, and international entrepreneur about halal industry. And then we also develop, it's not we, the government develop and encourage the halal industry expert to share their knowledge with the others country. And also we would like to export not only our products, not only our services, halal logistic, but also our halal executive, which is this halal executive recognized, been trained by Halal Professional Board Jakim. And number three, for the halal ingredients, to develop halal supply chain ecosystem in Philippines, maybe at the beginning, Philippine market, the industry player facing difficulty to find halal ingredient. Brothers and sisters, let us, Malaysia entrepreneur, support you to provide halal ingredient for your factory. And then from there, you can learn and develop your own halal ingredient. Number four, transfer technology. Malaysia has been years in the market, being a leader in halal industry. So there's a lot of technology being developed. So we love to share, to transfer our technology to Philippine industry player. And then for halal products. Halal products, we have a lot of halal products. As mentioned by Ms. Leni, we have about 8,000 plus company who already been certified as halal industry player. Okay, so for a beginning to develop your halal supply chain ecosystem in Philippines, we can support to supply our halal products to you, the end products. And number three is halal ingredient. Number five is end product. By having halal products in your country, lot of choice. So you are encouraged Muslim tourists to come to spend their time in your country. And of course, we can also have halal product for Philippines to be marketed in Malaysia and in other countries as well. That is my proposed collaboration between Malaysia, halal industry player in Malaysia and industry player or halal industry player in Philippines. Okay, I would love to introduce myself again. I'm a group managing director for 3 companies. A-Trans Global Logistics Berhad since 2006, which is a certified halal logistics service company. This A-Trans Global Logistics Berhad offer total logistics solution from origin point up to destination, meaning that not for local only, we offer our services for the export import activity. And in 2013, we established Islah Ventures Berhad. Islah Ventures Berhad been appointed by JAKIM as a strategic partner Malaysia International Halal Academy. We've been trained by JAKIM, been monitored by JAKIM to share our knowledge and to coach the industry player who want to embark in halal industry, not only domestic, yeah. Also, we've been entrusted to share, to train, to coach our knowledge in halal industry for global markets. And the third company is Islah Technology Berhad. It has been established in 2019 because of we are fully aware we need a technology to be more efficient in this industry. So this Islah Technology basically responsible, or the main core is to digitalize the digital transformation enabler for halal supply chain ecosystem. Okay, what is our mission basically? Our group would love determined to upholding halal supply chain ecosystem in Malaysia and in others country. And just want to share with you, Trans Global Logistics and Islah Venture has a subsidiary in Japan, because I start explore Japan in early 2016 for Olympic 2020. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. We have the opportunity to have a partner in Japan, a company who already established about 46 years in trading, distribution as a wholesaler in Japan. And my partner, because of he aware about halal industry, so he want to focus, it's not focus, to have another company which focus on halal products, to bring in halal product, to export halal product, Japanese halal product to others country, of course. So we combine our expertise, our knowledge, our network to make sure our vision, our mission successful. So this is the group of Trans Global Logistics from Berhad, and you are welcome to contact me, to send me email at dazlina@atransglobal.com, and there is my handphone number. Yeah, can contact me through WhatsApp or call me direct. I would love to share with you the experience that I have, my team have, and my colleague have from Malaysia, and we can develop halal industry between Philippines and Malaysia, and maybe there is another participant from another country, I believe. There is from Pakistan, from Suriname, from Guyana, my friends. Okay, so we can develop world halal supply chain ecosystem. With that, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Dazlina, for that informative presentation. And we would like to thank Ms. Lenny for her first presentation. This time, to lead the floor for the question and answer, together with Ms. Giselle Sunga, let us now have Mr. Ryson Arubinto of Export Marketing Bureau Halal Section. Once again, let us now have Mr. Ryson Arubinto of Export Marketing Bureau Halal Section.
Ayun, hello Philippines, hello world, and hello netizens. Assalamualaikum. Eid Mubarak, kullu aam wa antum bikhair. Hi Miss Giselle, long time no see ah. Parang hindi tayo nagkita, hindi tayo nagkausap kahapon lang or kanina lang. Kumusta naman dyan?
Yeah, kumusta naman Ryson? Nasa beach ka ba ngayon? Mahangin dyan sa'yo ah.
Ilalight lang natin ng konti yung mood as we start the Q&A para hindi tayo masyado serious, no? But before we start, konting reminder lang po, inform lang natin, Miss Giselle, yung ating mga viewers and listeners. Wow, lakas maka-vlog. About our not all po kasi will be answered. Tama Giselle?
Tama. That's correct.
Due to time constraint at saka yung limitation din po ng aming English. Kaya nagtatagalog na kami ngayon eh. Tama ba? But anyway, Anyway, I'd like to start the question po. I think you have some of the questions to begin.
Ryson.
Yeah.
Before we start the Q&A, batiin ko lang yung ating mga Zoom and FB Live viewers. Okay, so meron po tayong Zoom and FB Live viewers from Rizal. Hello po. Zambales,
Hello.
Manila, Pasay, Cavite, Quezon City, Cotabato, Maguindanao, Cagayan de Oro. And then we also have from DTI La Union, DTI Pangasinan. And then this is so exciting, Raison. We have also listeners or viewers from Hong Kong, Pakistan, and
Wow.
Saudi Arabia. Thank you po. Thank you.
Thank you very much and hi sa inyong lahat dyan. So I think would you like to kasi most of the questions na nakita natin dito concerns about the copy of the presentation and the e-certificate. Medyo pare-pareho sila. Would you like to sagutin lang muna 'yon?
Okay, apo. Okay, yung pong e-certificate and copy of the presentation will be given to you once you fill up the client satisfaction feedback survey. Ipapakita po natin yun mamaya pagkatapos po ng ating session. Kaya po you should stand by kasi lalabas po yung link and then you need to click the link. And then after that po, sesenda namin kayo again ng e-certificate and materials, presentation materials. Okay. Raison, siguro you can start the first question.
Unahin na natin yung question mo kay Miss Lenny kanina regarding doon sa concerns natin on the issue.
Sige po. So we will have our first question to Miss Lenny. Miss Lenny, hello.
Okay, hi Giselle. Right.
Hey, hi, Miss Lenny. Okay, so for our first question, what is the COVID-19 impact in global halal system?
Okay, the impact. Is that your question?
Yeah,
okay.
Correct. The COVID-19 impact in global halal system.
Okay. The way we look at it, halal, it promotes the cleanliness of the practice from the stage, from A to B to C, the cleanliness. So the way I look at it after COVID-19, I would say the adoption of halal would be greater than before. And, and this is a time that the whole world is looking, okay, let's see in terms of the strategy to move to adopt halal, halal system in the manufacturing, for example, in the operation line, for example. Yeah, and we could see that, of course, for Malaysia, the agency under JAKIM is doing very much accommodative to all the responses, in terms of halal. So I would say that, especially maybe Miss Das also can also agree to it, that halal is a thing that people is seeking for after COVID-19. Thank you, Ms. Giselle.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lenny. Okay, thank you for that one. Okay, there's a follow-up. Ms. Raison, ituloy ko na yung next question, ha?
Sure.
Okay. Ms. Lenny, so what are the challenges that halal is facing right now?
Okay.
With COVID-19.
All right. I think the challenges is basically the information and knowledge about halal. Yeah, perhaps for the Muslim dominant country, for example, Malaysia, the information about halal is all over, is spread throughout, and the information is easily connected, we easily search for. But in terms of the whole world, perhaps the promotion of halal itself has to be more extravagant after this, and for example, our strength, especially for our JAKIM, they have a lot of assistance that they could offer, as well as together with Matri. So that's why how we want this to be easily in terms of halal, for example. That's why we propose our program, we outline our programs for halal throughout the year and covers the whole region in the whole world. So For example, like Mihas, one of the grand events that we have every year, is really connected the halal industry players from Malaysia and from outside to Malaysia and Malaysia to outside the world. So this is the sharing information about halal, yeah. And the challenges, basically, I would say the understanding, yeah, the detail of halal is so big. It's not just about F&B. I think all these years we will always link halal with F&B, but it's actually greater than that. Yeah, as I mentioned in my presentation, it covers financial services. We have Suku program under financial services, pharmaceutical. Yeah, it's a lot more. It's greater than that. And based on Ms. Da's presentation just now, it says that the potentials are so big, it's wide, especially to penetrate into the Philippine market. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that, Miss Lenny. Raison?
Okay, thank you, Miss Lenny. Before we proceed po, we would just like to encourage our viewers from Facebook to please comment po your questions if you have. We are now live streaming at the PTTC Facebook and over the EMB, Export Marketing Bureau's Facebook also. Okay, so let me read now the questions. One of the questions pala. Saan na yun? Alright. Hello?
Okay, sige, Raison, go.
Yes. So this is actually in relation to the question earlier. This is from our post in Sydney. Shout out also kay Ma'am Alma Argaison na nakikinig or nanonood ngayon. Ang question niya dito is, could you please share with us some of Malaysia's halal best practices, if any, in responding to COVID-19? Any of our speakers may answer, or two of them can answer?
Yeah. Correct. I suggest two of them, maybe Miss Das and Miss Lenny will both answer. Thank you. Maybe we can start with Miss Das.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Deto.
Yeah.
All right. The question is, could you please share with us some of Malaysia halal best practice, if any, in responding to COVID-19? Yeah. So basically,
yes.
In industry definition of halal, it is a hygiene. The best part is hygiene, right? So we basically have we implement practice on we really stress out. We highlight on the part of hygiene. Okay. What I want to say. Part of hygiene, basically, we keep monitor despite of the COVID-19, despite of less of team in the organization, because of during the MCO, some of the manufacturer need to less their team worker up to 50%, right? But despite of that, we still implement the halal assurance system, okay, on the informations of the raw materials, on the information of which logistics service that we use, and then for the food service, we have food delivery service. Yeah, we have food delivery service which we implement. They need to have their mask and keep a social distance, and they need to sanitize their hands during pickup and deliver. And food delivery service, when they deliver the products or the item to the consumer, here the practice, they put the products first, and then they make call to the consumer. Okay, your product is ready to collect, and then they make the social distance about 1 meter, and they make sure the consumer take the product collect the product and only they have the proof that the product have been delivered. Normal practice, we need the consumer to sign the consignment note, right? To prove that the product already delivered. But now the practice is we put the product first, we call the consumer, the consignee, and then we keep our distance, but then we take picture. They took pictures and to prove that, okay, the product is delivered. That is one of the best practice during COVID-19 to make sure that the delivery service intact and hygiene. Yeah.
All right, thank you. May we hear from Miss Lenny? Hello, Miss Lenny.
Son?
Your answer, please.
Okay, all right. I think you're talking about best practices after COVID. And as mentioned, and Ms. Das, it's all about hygiene and cleanliness. And for us here, right, Ms. Das, everything is online, yeah? Whether you are submitting any kind of form, for example, yeah, it's through online. So just to limit the human touch or human encounters. So, and Alhamdulillah, so far, Malaysians has been very much accepted. That's the new norm, you know, all this work is all about walking into an office, submitting, you know, forms or whatever, something like that. But now everything is online, and that's the thing that we are embracing right now. So everything is, you know, just from the touch of your finger. That's the best practices.
All right. Thank you very much, Miss Giselle. Sungguban ko lang yung question na yun, no? Because we have a question here from Facebook. Because in the Philippines, Miss Lenny and Miss Daz, in the Philippines, our halal certification right now has been, because of the COVID-19, stopped for a while. So the concerns of our halal certification bodies would be how to go about with their existing clients that need halal certification. How do you address this in Malaysia? You may start maybe Ms. Lenny first.
Raisa, I didn't really get the question.
The question is, how do you go about with your halal certification process at the moment? Because for example, the monitoring, the auditing in the Philippines have now paused or stopped because of the situation.
Yeah, same goes for Malaysia at this point of time, since we are embracing the MCO. So, you know, auditing part and all has been put a stop for a while. But as I mentioned, in terms of submitting application and everything that can be done online, it is online right now. Yeah? If the officers in the office would like to get more information about the company, they will call and email. So I would say it's but after, of course, after MCO, the auditing part and all will come in practice lah. But at this point of time, it's still everything is done via online.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, actually, that's one of our challenges here in the Philippines. Not all of us have access to stable internet connection. Okay, Miss Das, please.
Okay. For the halal application, basically, JAKIM, has stopped for a while. Okay, during the first MCO stage, yeah. And then they took the initiative to develop the SOP, Standard Operation Procedure, for each stage of applications. Start from the submitting the application. Previously, we do have halal system, okay, to submit our application, and we being asked to send the hard copy documentation as well. But JAKIM already developed, because this is new norm. So However, JAKIM successfully developed an SOP to still assist and monitor halal industry player in Malaysia. So yes, most of the time they will communicate online. And then recently when we partially back working in the organization, so they have a schedule. Not everyone can go to JAKIM and to seek any information. They need to make appointments. Okay, make appointment, and JAKIM officer themselves have a rotation schedule to serve the industry, right? For the audit, I think as far as I know, we don't have yet. Okay, we don't have yet SOP for the auditor to go and audit the factory or the premise. Okay, we are adapting, slowly developing the procedure based on the current situation. We means JAKIM, and of course it involves the others government agency as well. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Das. I think that's very understandable that given this pandemic time when everything is a new normal, yes, I agree that we're still creating procedures, we're creating you mentioned about audit. So yeah, I think we're on the I think both Philippines and Malaysia are the same on this field. We're still creating, or we're still developing how can we audit halal certified company in this time of pandemic. Okay.
Yeah, and Ms. Jessel, I think this is the time for us to embark in digital. In digital auditing system. Yeah, so we have so much technology, IoT. Yeah, so maybe we take this opportunity, this COVID-19 opportunity for us to push us to immediately embark in digital auditing or online training submission. If not, we always take our own sweet time. Okay, we need to do later. But this current situation make us how to proceed the activity. Okay, the activity adapt the new norm right now.
Correct, Ms. Das. I agree with you. Okay, I just want to Raison, ako na yung magtatanong ha. Okay lang?
Sure, please. Go ahead.
Ms. Das, I find this question very interesting from Mr. Ian McKay. The code tracks the production of the product, but how do you track adherence to the supply chain to halal standards?
Sorry, Ms. Jessel, I can't hear you clearly.
Yeah. I think what he's trying to ask is, in the production, we have this code wherein we can track. Example, we have this production code, so we know what time the product was manufactured, the product was processed, what time is it. So we have monitoring if we are talking about the product, because we can see it usually in the product itself. There is the expiry date, the time it was manufactured. So the question. So on the product itself, we can monitor, but how do you track adherence to the supply chain to halal standards?
The whole halal supply chain.
Yeah. I think the question is, how can we monitor when we have our product and we have given this to the logistics? How me, a processor, or me as an MSME, or me who has a product, how will I know that my product will be delivered according to my specs or to my standards?
That is why we need the traceability system on blockchain technology. Remember, in my presentation, I did mention about traceability system on blockchain technology. The traceability it will start from the raw material itself, and then goes to the manufacturer and the retailers. But along the way, we have halal logistic, right? So halal logistic also need to play their role. So need to play their role, to participate in the traceability system. Okay, we have truck numbers, we have container numbers, right?
Okay.
And then for the truck, we have temperature, there's cold truck, there's normal truck, right? And then we have GPS, right? We know that where is the location of the truck, right? And then in for truck as well, we have a schedule to clean the truck. So that is the element from the logistic perspective need to key in the traceability system from the service side. The manufacturer or the supplier, they need to key in the details of the raw material or the finished products. That is how we control the integrity and of the halal supply chain ecosystem. We've been, my partner already practiced it in Vietnam. It started from the hatchery itself, for the chicken supply chain, the hatchery. And then the vaccine. We know that which vaccine, what time, which date that they, during the whole supply chain. Okay, so I'm encouraged the whole global industry player to study and to embark into the blockchain technology, basically.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Das. I agree with you. And to also with all the comments you made, we also have the checklist. I suggest to our MSME also, they have a checklist for those you mentioned, so they can check also from, as you mentioned, from the raw materials until the delivery. And I just share, Ms. Das also, Rise on share ko lang ha. Before in my previous job, we have this temperature logger. Ms. Das, I'm sure you will agree. We have this temperature logger so you can monitor when the truck stop, what time, and then we can monitor also the temperature reading of the truck. So at least we are assured that we deliver our product in good condition and in the temperature. Okay.
Yeah, and yes, so that is one of the requirements in halal assurance system for logistics. It's not only the cross-contamination for the haram elements, but in halal assurance system logistic, we must put element food safety as well. That's why for me, when you have HACCP, GMP, GDP, halal is another standard to value add your product or your process in the factory.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Das. I hope our listeners will understand the importance of really the logistics side and then the traceability, so they will know their product. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Das.
Welcome.
Okay.
All right. Can I ask the next question?
Sure.
So we have here, we have here an interesting question from the Zoom, from our Zoom group chat. It is about certification on textiles. Do you certify textiles in Malaysia? Because in the Philippines, well, as far as our law is concerned, our Philippine National Halal Certification Scheme does not cover textile as of the moment. So how is it in Malaysia?
Yeah, same in Malaysia. We does not have scheme cover textile at the moment.
Okay. All right. So in Malaysia, there's no textiles are not being halal, not being certified as halal. Okay, is that right?
Yes. We don't have halal scheme for textile.
Okay, Raison, I have question for Miss Lenny. Yeah, Raison.
Miss Giselle?
Yeah.
Do you have follow-up question there?
Yeah. I have question for Miss Lenny. Miss Lenny. Okay, the question is...
Hi, Giselle, right?
Yeah, Miss Lenny. Okay. How can we encourage our MSMEs to adopt halal amid the COVID-19 crisis?
To adopt halal. Okay. First of all, I think the information, yeah, the whole knowledge about halal itself has to be spread out through Philippines, yeah. And I was made to understand that the adoption of halal in the Philippines is still not not throughout the whole country, yeah. So like from Malaysia, because the number one throughout our lifestyle, be it the day-to-day lifestyle, yeah, we adapt, embrace halal, for example. So it's really about the knowledge about halal itself. It's really important, and the understanding. Yeah, as mentioned, I miss that, what is halal, what is haram, and what's in the it's between. So it's very important for the companies to know, and later on can really adjust to the system of the company, yeah, the production line, for example. The utensils can be used together with you know uh, the other way around. So I think, as I mentioned, and from the very beginning, I stress this out about the information about halal itself. Yeah, and for how we can do more, and of course, we wish to also link to our Matrix Manila to be for also sharing more about halal to the SMEs in the Philippines about halal, yeah, and also get to perhaps link together with Miss Das, as in, the whole ecosystem is there, from the government agency and also the private sector. So that's how we integrate in Malaysia.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Lenny. Raison, I think we
Yes.
will have last two questions. As mentioned po kanina ni Raison, as much as we want to accommodate or to answer all your questions, hindi po namin sila masasagot lahat. But rest assured that questions will be sent to our speakers para po ma-provide namin kayo ng answer. Mag-i-email po kayo. Yun po lahat po ng question, ikukulate po namin, and then maybe we will prepare the frequently asked question, and then para po meron kayong reference. And then for those question na specific po sa logistics, isi-send po namin yun kay Miss Das. And for those question naman po na related kay Matrade, yun naman po ay i-forward namin sa kanila. So I hope everybody understand that one. So again, we will have last two question. Raison, siguro you can have the last two. No, you can have the one question, and then I will have the last one.
Raison and Ms. Giselle, if I may.
Okay.
I went through the Q&A chat just now, and I found there's one of the questions about the new business model that can be adopted after COVID-19. Yeah. So for Matrix itself, what we do, we encourage companies to start or actively using the e-commerce platform. Yeah. And it's proven based on the feedback received from our Malaysian companies when utilizing the online business during this pandemic situation. Yeah, and it is seen that's the new norm that the companies have to adopt. Definitely, after COVID-19, companies has got to revisit the marketing strategy of their company in terms of marketing and all. So the going digital, as mentioned as Ms. Das, and also to have in utilizing the e-commerce platform is the way to go. Also, so I think that's one of the proposal that the suggestion that we can make upon to the companies.
Okay, thank you, Miss Lenny. Thank you for that one. I mentioned last two questions, but if you think there's another question where you want to answer, Miss Das, you can also provide your answer. And then Raison, kung meron pa tayong question sa FB, maybe you can raise that up here.
Yeah. We have here from FB, sa ating FB page. The question is, what if I got the halal certification for strawberry jam, and I have other strawberry products? Do the all strawberry products need halal certification? So I think on our end, we could answer that already. I think it was addressed in the halal value chain, no? So we have to look at this from the start of our process until the finished product. So that's when we will be able um, to know if all your product need halal certification. So basic concept that we need to understand is the term contamination, logistics, packaging, and all that. So but we will go back to the halal value chain. This is what I was saying earlier, no, na we have to limit the questions because of our English limitations also. But anyway, if you have any addition to that, Miss Das and Miss Salami,
I actually I didn't get the
you,
question.
I think, for example, I have
Strawberry
my
jam halal.
products that
Okay.
are from, I mean, strawberry. Okay, I have one of my products or certain portions of my company has halal certified product, and now the other do not have halal certification. Should I be, or am I required for all of them to be halal certified?
Okay.
Is
In
that,
Malaysia, okay.
is that clear?
Yes, yes. I hope I hope I understand it well. Okay. Actually, in Malaysia, if you have a strawberry jam, okay, in one factory, and you have another product, strawberry based, you must apply together another product, the product B. You must apply as a halal product as well, because you use the same premise, the same worker, the same equipment, okay, for the halal product. This is why, to avoid any cross-contamination during the process. And of course, we need to check, start from the beginning, the raw material. And if the raw material don't have halal certificate, we have another document that they need to supply to us, and then we need to study what is the ingredient in the raw material. Okay, so it doesn't mean, let's say in Philippines, you want to develop another innovation of product from the strawberry, okay, but the strawberry is halal because it's a fruits, okay, and then you process it. Right, once you process it, the preservative, the additive must be halal product as well. Okay, but there is another ingredient you want to add on, but the supplier do not have halal certificate for that ingredients, right? So what we do here, the supplier must share with us the documents like MSDS, Material Safety Data Sheet, or any other document, the certificate of origins, that we will study what is the element in the ingredient that possibility can cause of the cross contaminations. Yep. So am I answering?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That,
Yeah.
you are actually going into details of it, and that's
Okay.
right. That's right.
Right. Okay.
Actually, my question to that one, Miss Das, my question is, can we taste the strawberry first? So that's a joke. That's a joke. maybe
for me, because of when I go to international, to Japan or to China, last year I inspect one cosmetic factory in China. They want to apply halal certificate from Jakim, right? So they want to put the lipstick on my hand to see the color is beautiful or not, right? Okay, for me, I don't, I won't let them to put the lipsticks on my hand, right? Because of it's fall under shubha, the gray area. We do not know either it's halal or haram. So in Islam, either it's halal or haram. So I don't want to take any risk.
Okay. Okay. Raisal,
Alright.
maybe we can have the last question for Miss Das. One question for both Miss Das and Miss Lenny.
Yeah. Let me just read this question from FB. Because it's basic naman, we can answer it naman. But just to inform our non-Muslim friends who are watching us or listening to us, the question is, are non-Muslims can do business halal products? And the answer is, and I will
Yes.
answer it, yes. Okay.
Encourage.
Um, yes. And if you, in fact, in a study, actually, I read in a study from the Malaysian newspaper, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They had a study on the consumers of halal, and they found out that actually 60% of the global players of the halal are non-Muslims. So in that on that regard, that's yes po. The answer is yes. And also, in addition to that, you may be thinking that especially those who are non-Muslims, our colleagues and friends, they are non-Muslims, that when they consume halal products, they become a Muslim, or so they become a Muslim. That's not true. Okay,
Yeah.
so
That is
yeah,
previous. Previously, they think like that.
okay. So here I think we'll take this as a last question. No, does Jakim certify packaging materials? Does
Packaging
Jakim
material.
certify packaging materials?
Uh, Packaging materials. Yeah. Um, we don't have the specific scheme for the packaging materials basically, but packaging material maybe we can certify under the consumer goods scheme. Okay, so because of there is some of the materials, some of them contain haram elements basically, but just Jakim certified, I think no, not yet. My apology, Jakim, if I'm wrong. If one of the Jakim officer online with us.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So,
Thank you, Miss Das.
hello.
Okay, Sir Raison.
Yeah. So, do
Gusto
you
mo
have
ikaw
any
muna?
additional? Ha?
Yeah. Sabi ko
You,
sana ikaw yung unang magpa-thank you sa ating mga
ah,
Okay.
all right. Sige. May nagpapa-shoutout lang from Cebu daw, and from what's this, from Pakistan. Yan sila, nanonood sila. Hello sa inyo lahat diyan. From Davao also, may mga friends tayo diyan sa Davao na nanonood, nagpapa shout out. And lastly, some of the questions nga dito is yun nga, can be answered by them. We'll just email them, no, the questions. So I think that's it. Thank you very much sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat sa mga nanood. And siguro this is not our last time to kasi launch ko na po yung aking talk show channel. Hindi, joke lang. We will have this June. We will have another halal webinar this June, and for more information about that, we'll provide them both by email and by social media. So abangan niyo na lang po yung mga detalye doon. So I think on behalf of our team from the Philippine Halal Export Development and Promotion Board and the EMB Export Marketing Bureau, particularly from the Halal section, thank you very much, Miss Das, your nickname, and Miss Lenny, and all other. Before pa pala, may closing pa tayo. So,
Yes,
on my part, kasi this is my last naman na, yun, thank you very much po sa inyong lahat. Thank you. Masalam.
Okay, thank you, Raison, and thank you, Miss Lenny, and thank you, Miss Daz. I'm sure our televiewers have learned so many things from you. Sa ating po mga MSME, sana po madami kayong natutunan. After po nito, magpapakita po kami ng poll question. We hope that you can answer that one because magiging guide po namin yon para po sa aming pag-create or paggawa ng mga bagong webinar again ay para po sa inyo. And then, again, we will show you the poll question and then sabi ko nga po kanina, we will show you the link for the CSF para po mapadala namin kayo ng e-certificate and the presentation materials. Again, maraming pong salamat sa inyo. Kita-kits po tayo sa susunod naming webinar. Maraming pong salamat.
Thank you once again to all our guest speakers, our moderators, and our participants from Zoom and our viewers from Facebook Live for a fruitful discussion and interaction. Now, to conclude this webinar event, may we have the Executive Director of the Philippine Trade Training Center Global MSME Academy, Mr. Nestor P. Palabian.
Okay, good afternoon, and thank you for those who listen in this afternoon session. All right, this is a time of COVID, everybody seeks to be relevant. For me, it's a matter of being at this stage of the Industrial Revolution in advance, because the COVID enabled us to be more connected and more dependent on technology. So we have to depend on science to make things go for us. So we heard earlier about the technologies needed for us to enable us to understand and work with halal. We would discuss about the ecosystem on how to proceed for halal business with information, understanding what halal is all about. The currency would be information. So to be informed would lead you to better understand. And to understand means you are going to take action. To take action means to provide whatever challenges we face in the future. But do let us know how you feel, what you think about that, so we can serve you better. Because the secret to successful halal business is the same for successful public service. It's getting to know the reason why we're here, getting to know what you want, and getting to know our customers, our followers, and our learners, and how best to serve your needs now. That the halal economy we're talking about beyond food is basically a business activity which are Philippine SMEs. In fact, the whole affair, as I mentioned now, is full advantage because it's an opportunity for us to get out of this activity that will stop us now, not only from COVID but other disruptions. So with that, thank you for being here, and I believe this won't be the last that you will hear from the PCC and AMD for us to get together for another session. Hopefully, that is for it complete further action from all anything. Okay na?
At ngayon nga po ay inaanyayahan namin ang lahat ng aming mga participants upang sagutan ang Customer Satisfaction Feedback Survey. Tatanggapin po ang inyong survey hanggang bukas ng 5 p.m. Matatanggap nyo ang inyong e-certificates kapag nasagutan ninyo ang mga survey. At nais din po namin ipakita ang resulta ng poll na inyong sinagutan. Sa Zoom, sa tanong na which sectors of the global halal industry would you most likely venture on? Nangunguna ang food and food ingredients with 78%. Pumapangalawa naman po ang drink and beverages with 33%. At pangatlo ang hotel restaurant, catering services na may 21%. Sa ating poll sa Facebook, sa tanong na which sectors of the global halal industry would you likely venture on? Same question with Zoom. Nangunguna pa rin ang food and yes with 40%. At Thai, sa pangalawa, ang cosmetics and pharmaceuticals including nutraceutical and supplements, tourism and travel including modest, fashion, sports and recreation, at hotel, restaurants, catering services na may 20%. Pangatlo, Thai din sila, ang drinks and beverages, services and logistics, and financing with 10%. At muli naming ipapaalala ang pagsagot sa customer satisfaction feedback survey na ipapakita po namin. Ito ay para sa aming mga participants. Tatanggapin po ang inyong survey hanggang bukas ng 5 p.m. At muli matatanggap ninyo ang inyong e-certificate kapag sagot ninyo ang mga survey na ito. Kami rin po ay may susunod na libreng webinar sa May 29, 2020 sa ganap na 10 a.m. hanggang 11:35 a.m. Ang pamagat ng webinar na ito ay Digital Payments for MSMEs in COVID-19. Muli, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat sa pagsama dito sa aming webinar. Hanggang sa muli and keep safe everyone.